man. Hey, bro, you have another pair of headphones? My headphones just died.
Yeah, hold on. Here you go.
What am I supposed to do with this?
You're supposed to plug it in your phone.
My phone doesn't have a headphone jack.
Well, don't you have the dongle?
No, I left it at home.
Oh, that sucks.
Let's get to it. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's the HiFi Brothers.
Yes, and today we're going to talk about whether or not phones without headphone jack suck. So, Armando, why don't you give us a brief background about the controversy?
Several years ago, actually, a lot of phone manufacturers in China started to create phones without headphone jacks. And being in the United States, it wasn't really a big deal to us at the time. But then the Apple iPhone 7, which came out in 2016, was the first phone where the headphone jack was gone.
That's right.
So this started a huge controversy within the community. A lot of people were just outraged about this whole thing. Fast forward to 2019, and now all of a sudden, you have a lot of phone manufacturers across the world that are eliminating the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. This is forcing people to either use the dongles that they come with if they have existing headphones, or just straight up use Bluetooth headphones. I guess what we want to talk about today is whether or not there actually is a positive of having a phone without headphone jacks, or if it's actually not even making a difference.
Armando, so tell me, what are the pros of phones not having the headphone jack?
You know, right off the bat, I mean, if you have Bluetooth headphones, I mean, everybody knows how convenient those are. It's one less wire that you have to worry about, that you have to plug in. Since we're on the go and pretty much we're using wireless products on a daily basis, you know, having Bluetooth headphones are very convenient because you don't have to worry about plugging them in. They easily connect to your phone once you get them connected the first time. Having the ability of not having wires dangling from your head all the way down to your pocket, if that's where your phone is definitely a plus. Another big thing too is with people that work out. I know that this was a huge problem for me in the past where, you know, I had earbuds or, you know, with a wire all the way to my pocket, and when I'm running or working out, sometimes the wire gets tangled and it becomes an inconvenience at some point. The other things that I've heard will make the phone thinner. 1. 2 is waterproofing. The waterproofing for the phones are supposed to be better. 3 is it makes room for other technology and bigger displays at the end of the day, right? So I would say the biggest thing that I could find is the fact that you just don't need to worry about a cable being plugged in from your head all the way down to your phone where you're probably keeping it in your pocket or just, you know, somewhere close to you. You can walk around the room with just headphones, listen to music without having to carry your phone. So that's probably the biggest plus.
Yeah, that's good. One thing that I've noticed, like with Bluetooth, is that, yeah, it's very convenient, especially like if you're at the gym and you're working out and stuff like that. Your wire gets stuck on top of a weight bar or something like that, and it's dragging along, and your headphones are flying, across the room. You're like, oh my God, All right, Armando, so since we were talking about the pros, what are the cons about not having a 3.5 millimeter jack?
Yeah, that's good. And this is, basically where the controversial battle has begun. Well, number one, we talked about the sound quality, right? Nothing is ever going to be better than an actual wired solution. Not saying that it's never going to get better. I think the technology is definitely catching up. The second, I would say, con is battery life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I have this issue all the time. I have my Bluetooth headphones on, I'm listening to music, and all of a sudden my headphones saying, oh, the battery's low, and I have to scramble to find a way to charge it. And if I can't charge it, it's dead. And guess what? Now I have to look for the wire to connect it, and unfortunately I have to find the dongle that the phone comes with. So now I have, where I had a wired solution, I now have two pieces of equipment that I have to locate.
That's true. And
try to remember, and hopefully I didn't lose.
Yep.
So that way I can listen to my music again.
Yeah.
So when we went from an inconvenience, now we're going back to another inconvenience.
Yes, true.
I think that's something to really keep in mind. It's not having that option, and now that a lot of these phones are coming out without 3.5 millimeter jacks, you have to use a dongle. And that's one more thing that you have to either keep on you at all times or just remember where you're putting it. I'm sure many of you out there have lost a dongle already or it's got damaged somehow and you'd have to go buy another one. So that's definitely a huge con.
I've noticed that like these newer headphones, they have a carry-on battery pack. But then again, you know, sometimes you forget to charge your battery. And, you know, you're just like, oh, I'm down to 1%. Like, I got to go grab this, you know, little battery pack and sit there and charge it. You know, it's like, okay, like to me, it's just like out of the way, you know. Bro, we did a survey with our friends and family and on our Instagram page about this topic. What were the results?
Just a quick plug-in. If you're not following us on Instagram, make sure you do. It's at HiFi Brothers. But yeah, we asked the same question about this topic. And 80% of the people from our community said that they preferred phones with headphone jacks. The rest of the people really either didn't care or don't miss them at all. So it just shows you that as consumers, we're slowly adopting and accepting the fact that a lot of these phone manufacturers have decided to remove the 3.5mm jack. And I think what happened is, you know, since 2016, when Apple had come out with the iPhone 7, which started a controversy, I think 3 years later, I think people are just adapting more.
I see.
And it's kind of the topic of discussion is kind of diminished over the years. So this just goes to show you that, you know, phone companies are going to continue to make some bold moves, and we might not be happy with the results, but at the end of the day, we're just going to adapt because that's what we do as consumers.
Hey, bro, so I recently just bought a phone, the OnePlus 7 Pro. Okay, but it does not come with a 3.5mm headphone jack. What phone companies out there still have that 3.5mm jack?
As far as I know right now, well, major phone companies, Samsung, so their Galaxy S10s still have the 3.5mm jack on there.
That's pretty cool.
And LG, so the V40, which is actually, I've wanted to get that phone. I don't know why I haven't gotten it yet. Hopefully the V45 or the V50 if it comes out soon. Nice. That's probably my next phone just because it does have DAC on board. So as far as an audiophile, I mean, that should be a dream phone for anybody there. Which segues into the next topic of discussion, some of those pros I brought up earlier where, you know, a lot of these phone companies removed the 3.5mm jack because of, you know, thinner phones, bigger screens, better tech, and waterproofing. I looked into this more, and believe it or not, those are all false.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Samsung S10 is waterproof. Same as a lot of the phones that don't have 3.5mm jack. As far as thinner phones, they're not much thinner.
No.
Just because a lot of them have a USB-C connector on there with speakers. So just because they removed the 3.5mm jack on there didn't really equate to a thinner phone. And the other thing is display size. Displays are the same. There's nothing that a phone that doesn't give you a 3.5mm jack versus one that does gives you more than the other.
I see.
So I think what most phone companies are doing is they have decided to follow suit with Apple and some of these other phone companies and removing the 3.5mm jack because it's cheaper to manufacture the phone, and they're forcing consumers to not use 3.5mm jacks anymore, and they're just getting away with it. Controversial topic, I know. It's a huge argument there, but that's just my opinion. That's what I feel is the reason why phone companies are doing it, which leads us to the conclusion.
Right.
The question I'm asking you is, what's your preference? Do you actually have a preference with a phone? Be honest now.
Don't get me wrong. I have a Bluetooth headset already, and it works pretty good. You know, especially like when I'm at the gym, I don't have to worry about my wire running through my, you know, my shirt and down to my pants. Give or take, I mean, I'm just kind of like up on the air right now. I know the codecs are getting a lot better, you know, with Bluetooth. But the way I feel, we have to decide, okay, what's best for my ears. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's where I see it.
I would say for me, I miss having a headphone jack on my phone. I have a phone that doesn't have it, and I'm really thinking about getting one of those phones that I mentioned, one of those LG or one of those Samsung, just the fact that it has a 3.5mm jack. I'm going to be sad the day that there's really no option. All right, well, that pretty much concludes the video.
Yeah, absolutely, Mano. So, hey, just make sure that you like and subscribe to our video. Hit the notification button.
Yeah, and as always, please leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about phones without 3.5mm jack. Do you miss them? Do phones suck by not having them? What is your preference? We'd love for you guys to share on this controversial topic 3 years later after the fact. But as always,
Keep it hi-fi. So hey bro, I recently just bought a phone. The iPhone, or oh my god.
Start over.